Good evening, my friend. Good, man. Good. Just been with my wife a bit and kid, and had a long day at work, and now kind of getting back to smack this fella here. I'm just kind of seeing where I want to start. Um, uh, Need to kind of break this down. So we need to break down those tasks. It's going to be so we need a new entity basically. We'll need a new entity in the database, right? We'll need something like give me a second. We'll need a short message or something, right? All right, so let's create a new resource in our API here. Let's call it, how do we want to call this? Tweets, not tweet. What would be the synonym for tweet? Synonym for tweet. Actually, that doesn't make sense. Why would I know? Yeah, it's just so hard to come up with something meaningful. Hmm. I don't know how to call it genuinely. Let's just call it. Let's just call it. Let's just call it messages. That's generic enough. I can't think of anything now that's. Oops, wait. So we said that the message is gonna have message is gonna have a content, right? It's gonna have an author. Not really. Okay. Summary, slug, title, article. Hey, my best man. What's up? Did you arrive to Austria? So no. So we're gonna have a reference, right? So actually, so it's fine, right? So we're gonna have content. Oh, you're with Alex. Hey, man. Hey, Alex, how you doing, man? Take care of my best man, okay? Well, it's your best man as well. Take care of him. He's soft. So basically a message. He's my fresh follower. My super nice that you guys are together. I wish we can sit together and have a beer. You guys should try to fly to my place and have fun. Fucking troll. And I know that you're laughing now. I know your laugh. I know exactly how you're laughing now. All right. So shut up. Shut up. I know. Well, I brought a beer here. Here's a hazy IPA. Here's a Mikkeller. It's only 5%, but well, my camera isn't smart enough to zoom in on this, but I'm gonna open it up as well. Ooh, it's a good one. It's a good one. All right, let me put it in. The color isn't that great because it's only 5%, but it's okay, right? And it's a small one, so cheers. It's okay. It's okay. Not great. It's okay. But I have a lot better ones in the fridge. Should have brought that. Okay. All right, so good evening, Matt Dog. Thank you very much, man. Cheers as well. I'm just kind of defining the schema for our table right here. So this is going to be the content, right? How do I have it for the article? I mean, this resource is going to be almost identical, right? So let's kind of... No, not really, no. It's going to have content, upvotes, downvotes, right? So let's kind of think through a bit, right? How we want our table for this resource to look like, right? So it's gonna have content, it's gonna have upvotes. I'm a bit radical person, right? So I also want people to downvote something, just as they can do now with the articles, right? So if I get over here and sorry, the comment. And if I write a comment, if you say something idiotic or stupid, then people should be able to downvote you as well, to implicitly kind of tell you that what you said is very stupid, right? That's why I want downvotes as well. So if you're not behaving properly, you should kind of, in a way, you know, just be told that. Yeah, all right. So we're gonna have contents. I guess we can, yeah, maybe a heart also. I hate hearts, but this can both, you know, accommodate, so we can increment and decrement this. Exactly, exactly. I'm sick of the feelings everybody getting hurt and shit like that, right? Just, if you're saying stupid things, you should be downvoted. That's it. And that's logic, common sense, right? 100%. Happy to hear that, Heisenbolts. Agree 100%. So upvotes, downvotes, then it's fine. And this is basically how I implement it right now for the comments. Basically, what I do is I push the user's ID, like the primary, or sorry, the unique ID, UUID of a user. That's why we know if you kind of upvoted or downvoted something, right? Heart, I mean, heart is quite a radical. Heart, come on. Nah, let's not do that. Let's kind of reuse this sort of stuff. Yeah. So you can have this stuff, and then up and down. Let's not get carried away here with hearts and stuff like that, right? So this guy's gonna go, and then comment header. Nah. Where do I have it in my front? Let's see, where is that? Even though let's not get again, let's not drift away. So we're gonna have downvotes, upvotes, going back to the thing, right? Upvotes, downvotes, and that's pretty much it, right? And the content, right? And then the rest of the stuff is gonna be kind of handled with some joins and stuff, because obviously somebody is gonna write a message, right? And that message is going to be tagged, right? So essentially, let's open this super complex tool called Paint, and let's draw it in Paint. So we're gonna have a message, and then that message is gonna reference some user, right? Let me just increase the font in this super great tool. User, okay? Well, or whatever. Can I? Of course not. Yeah, let's just say message here again. So a user is gonna write a message. This is an arrow, by the way. It is. Don't tell me it isn't. So user is gonna write a message. That message is gonna be tagged. So it's gonna belong to. It's gonna be one-to-many relationship, or actually many-to-many, right? No, one-to-many in this case, right? So one message is going to belong. You'll be able to tag it, but then also you'll be able to tag users, right? So you'll be able to tag the tags. Wow, that sounds pretty cool. Good evening, Stefan, and good evening, G Baum. How are you guys doing? I'm just kind of designing stuff here in my head. So we're gonna have a reference here. We're gonna have a reference. So we're gonna have a join table in a way, maybe. Yeah. This is gonna be a junction table. This is just gonna be a reference to with a primary key. And this is what is this message? User message, tag, right? Tag. Just kind of designing a bit. Nice. I'm just designing a bit the tables here for the message, right? So let me go to my API. Yeah, pretty much. I think that's accurate, right? So here you'll be doing like just as we've implemented in our, if you guys remember a couple of nights ago, inside of our editor, we have this tags now, so you can tag people. So that's gonna be, all right. And then you should be able to also tag the tags. Sounds so cool saying tag the tags. Great. All right, so yeah. All right, cool. Then if I go to my Postgres, I don't remember how I did it. Yeah, somewhere around here, right? Let's say, come on. Yeah. That, right? And now we have to do the relations, right? Make a background for each tag, like an, what do you mean? What do you mean? And also this should be MJS, right? That's why my API is failing, right? Make a background for each tag. Do you mean like in the UI? Are we talking front end now? Like when I go to the tag view, like here? Make a background for each tag. If you have some example of a screenshot or whatever, please feel free to smack it inside of the chat, right? Just so I can kind of follow what you mean. In the meanwhile, I'll get here. And let's kind of get cracking here. So basically, let's just copy some of this stuff. Got it, got it. The thing is, what we have, I don't know if you noticed, I've basically, maybe, let's say we haven't maybe fully finalized it, right? But in a way we have it as well, in a sense that you see this tag is yellow, but if I go to some other, so for us basically right now, for simplistic reasons, it's just the basically the color of the tag itself. Like those are the kind of official colors of those logos. So you can see HTML is whatever this is, red, tomato color, whatever. And then if I go to React, it's going to be that blue React color, etc., etc. So indeed, I fully agree with that perception that each tag should look unique, definitely. Right? But definitely, I agree, right? You can see that kind of that's also more or less what we do. It's just background and stuff. I need time for that. I need a designer. I need more resources. So, I don't have necessarily the time, because all of those are great suggestions. It's just, yeah, definitely. I mean, I think there is a lot of space to make those things kind of unique in many ways, right? And I definitely in the future, I think we should do that, just to make some of those pages feel more unique and stuff like that. Definitely. All right. So let's just write some meta stuff here before we write any code. Where were I? So let's just write it like this. So let's say, a message, let's just, as a reference, say tweet, so people know what we're talking about. A message belongs to a user. A message belongs to many tags. Now, I think that complexity here is that you can tag other users, which would make, then we would need some notification system and stuff. We need to build that anyway eventually. So should we go that far now? Let's not. Let's just now have a tweet written by someone. That tweet has some tags, right? So in a way, it's going to be very similar to the article here. So models dot message has many comments, you can say, yeah. Interesting. The thing is, I'm not against this if we can make it minimalistic, right? If we can make it fit our own stuff, 100%. Let me just write this down as an idea here in our... Let's go actually to... Let's get here. No. Let's get... No. Yeah. Let's create a new one. Let's call it ideas. Stream ideas, just to kind of also know where they're coming from. Let's put it here. Great. Now let's go back here. Good evening, friend. Good evening. How are you doing? Let me just I just didn't notice that this thing actually... What the hell happened? Where's my mouse? Didn't notice that. Dude, sick. That's amazing. I'm just saving some stuff, some idea that... Okay. Nice. Wait, somebody wrote to me in Slack. Ah, never mind. All right, cool. I mean, if you want, in one of the streams of mine, we can discuss it. We can discuss the UI if you have some ideas. Bound, like, anytime. Share any ideas. I highly appreciate that. Seriously, genuinely. That's why I'm streaming. If without those ideas, it would be pointless for me to stream, because in a way, that's what I'm trying to get from you guys, is things that you would like. That's kind of getting free validation, right? I don't have to wonder, would anyone want that or not, right? Pretty horrible beer, to be honest. Strangely. All right. Give me a second here. Need to close Slack on this computer. All right. So written down, we'll consider it 100%. We might even try today, but we need to get back to this fella here. So message has many comments. Comment belongs to... Message does not exist. All right. That's quite strange, actually. So it does have, there is a message for sure. I just wrote some magic here. I don't even know if I like it anymore, but I just made it so I don't manually have to do stuff. Nice, nice. What am I missing? Shit, I forgot even how I wrote this. Let me check it here. So, come on, dude. Why? Alright. Need to... Relation message doesn't exist. They forgot. What? Ah, never mind. What am I doing wrong? I completely forgot. Now it crashed. You know, storybook is one of the best patterns out there. Absolutely, 100%. Everybody should, who's doing any front end without a single thought using storybook. It's not even a matter of discussion anymore. There's absolutely nothing that it doesn't provide in 3 minutes that's not useful, right? Storybook is really just a sandbox environment for you treat your whole UIs as separate apps. The separation, right? What I like about it is first that you get a design system laid out in front of you so you can see all of your components, you can see all the states, and then you can properly, well, first and foremost, the most important is when you're developing new components or views and stuff, you can develop them outside of your app. So you develop them outside of the constraints of your application, needing to be logged in, needing to have this and that, etc., etc. So that's number one. So you're not bound by the app and all the side effects that it carries as you build it. Two, it works great in teams, especially when you have designers in your team. So tomorrow, if I would get some designer to help out with this project, I would give him my storybook and say, well, you can go there. I mean, and I'm not really, the storybook we have here hasn't been that much used neither. And it will be, I will make sure to move all of the components there. But generally, you know, team collaboration, making new components, laying, and then there's a bunch of plugins. There's a lot of stuff that I haven't showed you guys that you can do with it. You can write tests there, integration and unit tests. So there's a lot of great stuff. Overall, everything about it is great. I can't find a single point that's negative. And it's just so helpful that it's crazy. You create a story or for a component, and then you lay it out, you create a bunch of stories for the same component, you know, button that looks like this and that. You know, I don't know, imagine you have a table. How does my table look like when there's no data? How does it look like when there is data? How my table looks like when there's an error? All of this stuff you lay out in your storybook. And so you cover all of the states of a potential component based on the props that it receives and stuff like that. That is incredibly powerful, right? Incredibly powerful. So literally can't find anything negative about it. All right, so again, most honestly, no UI project out there. I would make it come pre-installed with things. That's how amazing it is. Shit, what was the password, man? Give me a second here. What? Did I maybe add my own custom password? Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. Great, all right. Absolutely, give it a shot. If you have any questions, ask me, but I'm sure you're not going to have any questions because it's so simple that it's ridiculous, right? Ah, of course. We're still getting the same error, and all right. Well, it's okay. That's then I know that something in my SQLize here isn't right. Honestly, my biggest problem, right? My biggest problem is that I keep forgetting a lot of stuff. Depending on my job, my current job, and what I do more, you know, I then forget some other stuff, and I don't want to be writing manual. I don't want to be using, you know, PQL client in the terminal and doing manual writing and stuff, even though it's way faster. Then I'm using this VS Code plugin here. That's very limiting, unfortunately. I wish that I can just right-click here and drop a table and stuff, right? But I can't. But generally, I just keep forgetting stuff. Actually, I keep forgetting more stuff than I keep learning, to be very frank with you. Just impossible anymore to do so many different things from infrastructure and all of the crap that it's becoming increasingly difficult to keep everything in my head. So right now, I don't know why this is failing. Let's try to read the error. Relation message does not exist. All right. Yeah, but it's normal, right? I used to work as Cisco engineer, MikroTik engineer, right? And a lot of those things. And I was professional in that field, and I no longer am, right? Because I worked there. I mean, I'm still solid at it and stuff, but I'm not 3% of what I used to be when I was working just as a Cisco engineer, right? You cannot, that's just how it is, right? As you roam through this industry, especially if you're not static, just doing one thing, it's normal. You're gonna forget some things and you're gonna learn new things, but you're never gonna forget the core stuff. For example, I can never forget routing or switching or a lot of this stuff that I did for years. But what I did forget is, like, if you give me a Cisco now router or MikroTik, I'm not gonna program the whole firewall set of rules or whatever in 5 minutes as I used to. It's going to take me 3 days because I just forgot the commands and all of that stuff, right? But I'm still going to be able to do it. It's just I don't remember, right? It's just impossible to memorize those commands, right? What? No way. What the heck? So, I know what it is. I know what it is, man. I'm not calling this fella here. That's what it is. That's what it is. I'm not actually... This is initializing, basically, the actual table. This is what's creating it, right? I'm talking too much, and then I think it should be that. And yeah, that's it. That's it. We just forgot that one-liner. I should have honestly just automated that as well. Let's try to automate that, seriously, so we don't forget it again. Good evening, Sako, my friend. How are you doing? We are today just continuing the feed from yesterday, and I just want to designing basically the tables in SQLize now with Postgres, right? So just want to do one quick code because I just wasted some time here, and I just want to kind of automate that, hopefully. Yeah, I don't remember the rule. Let's go to the ESLint and do it the proper way, right? We have to use the call, right? Again, those are the details I keep forgetting more and more, to be frank with you, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's how it is. I cannot memorize it anymore. And then well, something like that I would like to think, right? Yeah, I did my CCNA, I think around 12 or 13 years ago, and then I did it again 5 years later from that point in time. So it's been quite a long time since then. The thing with CCNA, CCNP, and all of those things is that they become, so all of those certificates, I did it at the academy, so I went to the university. I didn't do it online, so I actually we had the labs and stuff. But before that, already I worked as an engineer, networking engineer. I was just self-taught. This was like 13, 14 years ago. They become obsolete. So when it comes to Cisco certificates, you basically yeah. You can do that with the computer networks. I mean, you can do that with anything, really. It's just this should technically work. You know what? Why am I going crazy? Why? No need. Let's not self-inflict the pain. No need. I'm gonna suffer anyway. And let me try to help myself. All right, so let's go with that. Let's check the super complex tool here. And now we have a message that has content and Then we'll pretty much need something like this. So we're gonna need this junction table, we're gonna need this join table, right? So we're pretty much gonna need what we have for user tags and article tags. You can see that we just have a bunch of join tables, right? Because a message is gonna belong to a user and to a tag, right? So it's pretty much identical, right? If we go to yeah, pretty much, right? Should have maybe done this already. So if I come here, let's see what we have. So user has, and this is still valid, of course. So let's see. So user has many messages, like user can write tweets, whatever, as many. A message belongs to a user, and then we alias it as author. Otherwise, it would be called as the model name in SQLize, as the table. And then this sort of stuff, right? We just did, I believe, but let's actually do it pretty much like this. Then user has many comments that we already know. And comment also belongs to many messages. So we can comment on articles and we can comment on messages as well. Now, let me think for a second here. So this is fine. That is fine. So basically we already kind of have model user has many comments. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Let me just double check what's happening. Okay, so this is fine. We can see, right? So this association is fine. User can write many messages. Messages belong to a user, and then we alias it. Then what else? Then we need the tag association, right? Just basically as we have here. So this is, I believe, what we're missing for this fella, right? Because then the message also, you can tag people. You can tag the message, right? Something like that. I hope. I hope. My brain is not ready for this again, but I truly hope. No, that's not accurate. No. This is, why is there a user ID? Maybe. Yeah, I need to. So let's lastly, hopefully, we can finish this in a second. That's unfortunate. I didn't want to do that. Let's put it there. So what was the password? Ah, it was my own password here, right? Yeah. And then let's try that once more. Docker, let's drop this fella. And let's, so let's drop this fella. Let's drop it again. Let's refresh. What? Why is it not nuking it? No, it's not. Can I zoom in here? Nice, I can, just so you guys can see. So let's see here. So we have a message. I don't know why it has this user ID. Let me try to delete it from here. Let me run this fella again. Then let's refresh to see if it recreates it again. Yeah, it does. We shouldn't have that user ID. I don't know why is it there. Oh yeah, because, and I can see also that we have it for the article. That's wrong. Yeah. Doesn't matter, right? Doesn't matter. Let's go ahead now with this. I mean, might minimize this thing. So let's create an API for this, and then let's test it a bit. If we go back here, if you get here, right? Let me just grab one of those fellas, right? Let me do that. Let me paste it over here. Let's close this fella here. Let me go to my config to set up routers. Let's register a new one. Let's call it user messages router. And we don't have that router yet. We will make it in a second. Let's go over here. Let's get the existing router from somewhere. Again, let's grab that. Let's do this. Let's do that. And then let's now just say, let's start simple, right? Let's say get messages by author. Yeah, let's start like that. Yeah. 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 That's fine. That's fine. That's now fine. I guess this is what we're missing, is it? Yeah. Let's not require authentication just for time, just for 1 second. Let's remove all the AJV validation here. Let's go to our routes. This should be messages, right? That's why it's complaining, probably. Yep. Let's now use our Thunder client here. Where was it? It's been a while since I used it here. Do I have the collection? We don't have the collection in this computer. Let's actually, yeah, because if you remember, guys, this is new streaming setup. Let's create a new collection, call it Programmer Network API v1. Let's create a new folder here. Let's call it messages. And let's create a new request here, call it get messages by author ID. I don't even know what's the URL of my API. I don't. Nah. Yeah. Not really, is it? What's the? I cannot open DNV directory because you guys are gonna see then all of my environmental variables. So let's not do that. You know what? Let's do one thing. Setup. Nah. Let's go to plugins and let's disable yeah. Just want to disable this gibberish that's generated. So it is 3,800. Okay, cool. So let's get back over to our Thunder client here. And let's say 3008. Messages. Okay, and then let's hide that. Let's get back here. Yes, give me a second. let's go back to API v1 messages. So that's okay. Then we have this fella. Yes, we have a local 3000 API v1 messages. All right, good. So we're hitting it, right? Perfect. Let's now get to it and fix the stuff. Obviously, we're getting this right because we're not authenticated, really, right? So let's just for a second say 1 here, right? Because I've disabled that middleware, right? Comment, yeah, and of course now here we have to, let's just call this messages. And then let's do this, right? So obviously it's going to be empty. We haven't created any. That's fine. But let's actually go back to the actual to the router and let's enable back this. And then we'll add our schema to validate it. Right? So going back to this fella, you don't have access. So let's see how do we. I'm not using JSON Web Tokens. I'm using session in memory storage, right? So that kind of makes it a bit harder so let's see how am I authenticated right now. I still have some sort of a session right here. Cookie maybe, yeah, I don't actually know. Let's take programmer network, yeah. So I guess, and then let's actually go to our, so if we check our request headers here, we have a cookie. So this is kind of what we need, right? So let's see, headers, right? So we have a cookie, right? And then we have this as a value, right? Let's try that now. And it works, right? So we're now kind of logged in, right? See you later, Sako. Thank you so much for passing by as always, man. Appreciate it, dude. All right, so that's good. So now we're kind of logged in. So let's now build the rest of the simple CRUD API here. Let me quit this fella. We no longer need it. So let's create the next logical one, which is going to be create message, right? And it's going to be models.create, right? Create takes the object itself as the first argument, right? And then let's actually see how am I using create in other places. Yeah. We'll need whatsoever as well to do this sort of stuff. We'll need to do something like this. So we'll have to create a message, but also we'll have to create those references, right? Because with the message, we're going to send some tags, and then we'll have to create this association. Basically, this is the join table thing, right? But let's not do that right away. And let's export this. Very good. Let's just make sure that this still works. It does. Okay, good. Let's close up some of the, so we don't need this, we don't need that, we don't need that. So this is what we need. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's do the creation now. So create, and then basically we're gonna pass it the body, right? Yeah, let's take a look at this guy. Yeah, this is pretty much what I do, right? So it's almost going to be identical to this thing, right? Almost identical. It's basically going to be pretty much, yeah. Yeah, that's good. And then we create the associations, right? But let's not worry about that yet. Let's go to our Thunder client again. Let's put it over here because we're gonna use it. Let's create another request inside of this folder here. Let's call it create a message. And then we're gonna get here. I think there's a way in this standard thing to kind of share global state between those headers. So because right now we'll have to copy this cookie several times, right? Which kind of is annoying. So I'll solve that for another stream, right? So let's go back here and go back over here. And obviously, if we do this now, nothing's going to happen because we haven't yet finalized it. It's fine. So we have that. We have to go to the router, right? And as you may think, it's going to be app.post. Same messages. Just going to be create message, right? Pretty simple. And that's why it's great, because it's simple. Now, if we do it, we should kind of hit it, but obviously we're not sending any data and we have to. So let's send it content. This is just some message. And send it again. And then we created one, right? And then if we get back here and try to find it, we can see that it's created, right? It has the proper user ID, author ID. This shouldn't really be there. I don't know why it is, and we're gonna clean that up eventually. It doesn't matter. But here is basically a this is how the message looks like, and this is going to be just a stringified content content state from draft.js, right? But it's always going to be a long string. Now we still need this, right? Because you'll be able to tag people. You'll be able to tag people in a message, right? Sorry, the tags. You're going to be able to tag the tags, basically. Doesn't make sense. I know. Sounds strange. And we'll need another join table. So we'll need a table that's called message tags, right? So we'll definitely need this. And then this is going to be a message ID, right? So we'll definitely need that, right? So we'll need another join table, right? Model message belongs to many tags, true. No.